timeline, so it's very important that we, as a team and with the client team, allow designers to have that creativity, and then we try and manage the costs and value engineering back to a sometimes more sensible level.
There's a distinction, or there's an increase or decrease. It has been there all the while, what we feel, and we have an influx of both design and build, and design build projects as well. So we don't see there's a difference between either of the two. We get inquiries from both.
What's your observation in terms of the influx of projects?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the client's requirements really and what solution they need. Mahesh is correct, it's based on timeline as well. Does it go to a traditional type of approach for a traditional design side? Is it a fast track design and build? Depends on budget, depends on type of project location. So at Compass we would assess that. F&B and retail, the design and build approach is very much a key factor. It's really in the client's interest that we focus on and try and promote best practices for the client to proceed with.
If we have a client with a tight time frame, we normally recommend to go for a design and build approach. This way we can work in parallel with the contractor to make sure that we can push forward the handover date.
Investing on the hospitality or hotels, I think design and build is not the option for now. They still go to the old method, which is design with build, because there's a lot of stakeholders that need to do approval before we really do a construction, and who's the playmaker in the market.
Which projects have you seen that adopt one model over the other? So Richard, I think, was saying F&B is more design and build, commercial is also design and build.
I think it's offices, the operator need to approve those things, the board of members, like I don't know how many rounds of approval that need to be done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely hospitality, healthcare, industrial, master planning, that's traditional build. That would be where like the DWP would come in.
Okay.
Because then that goes to tender and they get a very compliant bid process back for commercial assessment. Basically a full solution where we can solution for clients that come in and they don't want to do the full procurement themselves. They want Compass to solution from start to finish for them. And that's where we then take on board clients' needs, and then bring the same bid process and RFPs and timelines to the front end, but we then take that to a full solution where we can place and recommend all contractors, designers, procurement for them.
It also assures the client that there's not going to be much value engineering on the materials at the construction phase. Yeah. That's the approach we have towards all of our projects.
they have a range from entry level to the expensive. So if once you have a 3-star budget, then you don't go, even though it's 5-star, you don't go and pick the 5-star item. But when we start documentation in terms of the DD, when we start doing a specification and so on, so that's where we start like, okay,
Compass can come in handy, because when you have a PMC coming on and advising the client, most of the time we notice that the budget is not the major constraint for the client. They look for quality products and faster deliveries and value for the money they're spending. So that's what they're looking for.
Client supply chain, they'll be pre-qualified, they'll be proven, they'll have a track record, a track history, not just on cost but on also health and safety. Health and safety is always paramount on any construction site, no matter what size it is. Quality control and assurances, and then we have our toolkit, if you like, that's passed to contractors and compliance. So in relation to material submittals that would meet designer specifications, material inspection requests, work inspection requests, mock-up activities, basically getting first in place for clients' approval and being able to mediate, you know, in the initial design stages. So if it's not going to meet the program, we need to find a solution. If it's not going to meet the budget, we need to find alternatives.
Good PMC, it helps the process, especially when the designer also involved for post-contract service. It's really like make your life easier. Of course, that delivering project is not like a one-man show. Then I had the same experience when the hotels that I have to deliver is a live hotel. So you need to have a strategy, like how you want to close the floors, like how you gonna open, like when they gonna hand it over floor by floor, all these things that is managed by the PMC. So if you don't have a good PM that manage all of this, the flow, the design, the approval, then the handover, this is not gonna happen.
The approach to design and build has massively changed during the last few years. From both the perspective of designers and the clients. A good example of it is a live project that we have in collaboration with Compass.
Okay.
It's a commercial space, highly design orientated with a lot of creative details. Companies like Compass. That's not only beneficial for us as designers, it's actually helpful for the clients as well. They make sure the project runs smoothly within the timely manner, and during the fit-out stage, it protects the client against various factors such as variations, EOTs. So I believe companies like Compass can be a perfect fit for both us and the clients during the project.
The UAE is a completely different market to Saudi, to Oman, to Bahrain, Qatar. So because we have experience in these regions as well, we have sort of supply chain as well that's recommended into clients. And there's always going to be a traditional build, there's always going to be a design and build, and you know that will reflect on type of projects, size of projects, timeline, budgets. But where Compass can really support everyone and clients is that we are, you know, the one-stop solutions provider for, you know, client from A to Z. We manage the whole process. We manage the supply chain, procurement, design, quality, risk management, risk reduction, and it's a very successful model so far from I've come in, and it just gives clients the opportunity to choose between the two